It is now 5:30, and I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome everybody here. August 1st, regular school board meeting of Cone Joint Unified School District, and first day of school. So what I'm hearing is everything went really smooth and everything went really well, so that's a great way to start the school year. So with that, I'd like to ask our Administrative Assistant, Joanne Medina, to please take roll.
Mrs. Flores?
Present.
Mr. Fuentes?
Present.
Mrs. Sandoval?
Present.
Ms. Doreen Ojeda?
Present.
Mr. Flores? Mrs. Haro?
Present.
Mr. Ibarra?
Present. Thank you, Joanne. And we do have an interpreter, Ms. Bueno, who is available for Spanish-speaking persons. If you could please come up.
Thank you, Board President Ibarra. Good evening, all. Muy buenas noches a todos. Yo soy Cintia Bueno, soy recepcionista y traductora del distrito. Esta noche estaremos proporcionando servicios de intérprete. Si alguien desea escuchar la reunión completamente en español simultáneamente, puede encontrarme en la mesa trasera, donde podrán adquirir el dispositivo para hacerlo. Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you very much. And with that, I'd like to ask everyone to please rise. And Joanne, can you please lead us in the flag salute?
Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
So let's go ahead and move right into our item 1.3, which is the adoption of August 1st, 2024 agenda. There are some personnel, public employee appointments that want to take note of. And let me go ahead and read them at this point in time. Additions of 3 certificated coaches, baseball assistant boys. Head varsity baseball boys, prep squad director co-ed, addition of 7 certificated regular staff, teachers 7, addition of 1 classified management, administrative assistant confidential, addition of 9 classified coaches, head junior varsity soccer boys, head varsity cheer co-ed, head varsity soccer boys 2, head varsity tennis girls, head varsity track co-ed, head varsity wrestling co-ed, head varsity basketball assistant boys, varsity football assistant boys, and an addition of 33 volunteers. At this time, I would entertain a motion for approval, please.
I'll move that.
Thank you, Israel. And a second?
Second.
Okay, good. Pat? Okay, and Pat Haro. So on a motion by Board Member Israel Fuentes and second by Board Member Pat Haro to adopt the agenda as recommended, all those in favor indicate by stating aye. Aye. Anyone oppose? Anyone abstain? 7-0, the item passes. So on a motion by Board Member Israel Fuentes and Board Member Pat Haro, and on a 7-0 vote, the board member adopted the agenda as recommended. Thank you, everybody. At this time, we'll go right into our special presentations, which is 2.1, Introduction of New Management. And Dr. Day, please.
There we go. Good evening, Board President Ibarra, board members, Superintendent Dr. Miranda, and members of the audience. Tonight is my pleasure and honor to introduce our new principal of Crestmore Elementary, Daniel Morgan. Before I move forward with my presentation, I'd like to invite Edwin Delgado from Joe Baca's office for a special presentation for Daniel Morgan. A little surprise.
Congratulations. Good evening, board, distinguished guests, Superintendent Miranda. On behalf of Supervisor Baca, we want to congratulate Mr. Morgan, and it gives us great pleasure to join the Colton Joint Unified School District in welcoming you in your new position as an elementary school principal. Thank you for your significant contributions that you make towards this district, the students, and bettering the education of our community. And we want to commend you for this work and congratulate you. And on behalf of the supervisor in the 5th District and the County of San Bernardino, we want to present you with the certificate.
Yeah.
Retake that. I might have photobombed him on that one, but as you all know, Mr. Morgan has been a part of the district for many years, approximately 17 years as an elementary school teacher within the district, teaching upper and lower grades. Was elementary assistant principal at DRC and at Crestmore, and really filled in some unique times when he's always there for the call when we called. So we really appreciate all the hard work that Mr. Morgan has put forth, and not only in the past but in the future. Some of his fun facts: he loves camping with his family, deep sea fishing. I'll be heading to Alaska next year to do some fishing, so I'll bring you back some fish. Paddle boarding and hiking, and tonight he has his wonderful family, which I'd like for him to introduce, but we're just so happy that you're able to move forward in this position. We know the Crestmore community loves you and is really excited that you're able to stay there and lead them into the new pastures and achieve all of their goals. So thank you once again for all that you've done in the past. You're not only a wonderful professional, but you're a wonderful person, and we appreciate you. And so Daniel Morgan.
Superintendent Dr. Miranda, Board President Ibarra, and the rest of our esteemed board, thank you for having me this evening. I'm thrilled to be here. Like Dr. Today said, I've been in the district for 21 years now. Right into it. Okay, here we go. I've been in the district for 21 years now, and I'm thrilled with the direction we're moving in. We're really doing a lot for our students, and I attribute that to, and I would like to thank our executive cabinet and Dr. Miranda. I appreciate all you do. I'm proud to be part of CJUSD. To our students, our families, and our community, who you support me in helping our students achieve everything they possibly can. That's what I'm passionate about. One of my favorite sayings is, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And I believe when we teach our kids that anything is possible if they try hard, anything truly is possible for our kids. I know you're all on the same page with me on that, and I appreciate you and support you. I'm grateful, blessed, and I feel humbled to be the principal of such a great school. I would like to thank my family. If they could please stand up, I can embarrass you a little bit. My beautiful wife, Amy, my beautiful daughter, Ella, my amazing son, Andrew. You guys are always there for me. You support me, and I'm grateful for you. You guys truly are my why. I love you. I just want to say once again, I'm thrilled to be part of the CJUSD family. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Start here. Yes.
One more round of applause for Mr. Morgan, please. And that concludes my presentation for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dede. Okay, we're going to move right into item 2.2, which is the Board of Education self-evaluation. On June 13, 2024, the Board of Education participated in a self-evaluation process designed to improve the quality of governance for the benefits of the students of our district and our community. The self-evaluation was an excellent opportunity to have an open dialogue with my fellow board members, to share our own values and beliefs, and to hear other perspectives, all while working together toward the goals of becoming a stronger Board of Education. The self-evaluation concentrated on areas that have direct impact on the board's effectiveness. The board reviewed the governance handbook that was adopted by the board in May of 2023. At the May 4th, 2023 special board meeting, the Board of Education developed a governance handbook, and at the June 2024 special board meeting, the board collectively made revisions to the handbook. The purpose of the Colton Joint Unified School District Governance Team handbook is to ensure a positive and productive working relationship among board members, the superintendent, district staff, students, and the community. The protocols were developed for and by the members of the governance team. The governance workshop assists in clarifying roles, increasing effectiveness, extending understanding, and improving the quality of governance. The board holds a unified belief that all students can learn if provided the support and the programs to meet their needs. That belief helps to shape the decisions of the board and leads to an effective and unified governance team that emphasizes collaboration and mutual trust. I would like to thank the board, along with the facilitator, Gary Rutherford, for participating in the self-evaluation process and for their commitment to building a strong board that supports the vision and the goals for student success. Thank you. 3.0, public hearing. At this time, we'll go ahead and close the open session, open a public hearing. This is 3.1, Colton Joint Unified School District's Sunshine for Association of Colton Educators, ACE. At this time, I'd like to invite Dr. Dede to the podium. Thank you.
Testing. Good evening again. The Colton Joint Unified School District submits the following initial proposal for the 2024-25 reopeners to the collective bargaining agreement with the Association of Colton Educators, ACE. The district is interested in bargaining the following articles: Article 8, hours of employment; Article 9, class size; Article 12, transfer policy; Article 13, leave policy; Article 20, peer assistance and peer review, PAR; Article 22, discipline; Appendix 1, provisions and requirements related to salary schedule; Appendix 2, racial schedule for non-teaching assignments; Appendix 3, extra duty and miscellaneous; and Appendix 4, coaching/activity pay. This list is not exhaustive, and the district reserves the right to make additional proposals as the negotiations progress. Additional subjects of meeting and negotiating arising after the presentation of this initial proposal shall be made public within 24 hours pursuant to Government Code 3547. The district is also reviewing all other provisions of the collective bargaining agreement for the 2024-25 school year. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dede. And I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing and reopen our regular board meeting and move into our public comment 4.0. Board bylaws 9323 states that individual speakers shall be allowed 3 minutes to address the board on each agenda or non-agenda item. The board shall limit the total time for public input on each item to 15 minutes. With board consent, the president may increase or decrease the time allowed for public presentation, depending on the topic and the number of persons wishing to be heard. The president may take a poll of speakers for or against a particular issue and may ask that additional persons speak only if they have something new to add. I'll go ahead and take them in order. First person, Lisa Villa.
Testing. Good evening. My name is Lisa Villa, and I reside in Colton. Yesterday, as I listened to your Swing for Success spiel, I felt you gave contradicting statements. The leaders of the district are supposed to do more than just talk the talk, because that's all it is. You do not walk the walk. You are of equity and equality. You have favorite staff, and you have staff like me that you allow to be harassed on a regular basis. I've been giving you facts of my harassment on a regular basis. You stated that we are a growing, innovative district, which is untrue. I was just at a presentation in this district and it was pointed out that we are in a state of declining enrollment, which I know is true because that's why they offered the golden handshake recently. You also stated when you attend conferences that when other people find out that you are from the Colton School District, that they ask you all about the great things that you are doing here. What great things are you doing here? Having basics, that's what you can consider great innovative things. Basic curriculum like band is what you are supposed to have. You stated that you highly value each and every one of us, which is clearly untrue. I've been coming here telling you how unvalued I feel and how you have done nothing to rectify my situation. In fact, you have allowed the harassment to continue. You said that you show the communities how to be examples. You show the community how to be a bully and how to abuse your power. They learn it from you. You stated that there is 10% improvement rate in core subjects. They're improved from below basics. And that all happened on your watch. And you are not committed to serving a district of transparency and honesty. We need change. These irresponsible decisions that you allow to continue to be made, which affect me, needs to be stopped. I had a horrible day today. I am not happy. The children of this community deserves better. They need to have people that know what is truly going on the front lines, and to clarify to the leaders of this district what's really going on. Thank you very much.
Thank you. No, one more. Mr. Edwin Delgado.
Again, board, my name is Edwin Delgado, and I am representing 5th District Supervisor Joe Baca Jr. today. And I would like to introduce and invite your students to participate in the San Bernardino County 5th District Youth Advisory Council. This is the second cohort, and I'm one of the coordinators for this year. And the Youth Advisory Council is an excellent opportunity for high school juniors and seniors to challenge themselves, learn new skills, and gain confidence. By participating, students will bring valuable insights, build relationships, and collaborate with peers and community leaders. This program encourages engagement with local issues and promotes positive change within our communities. To get involved, students would commit to a 1-year term on the council. They will attend 2 monthly meetings and complete required community service hours. We believe this council offers a unique platform for students to make a meaningful impact and to develop themselves as future leaders. And I would love to provide more information, and we appreciate the school district's support and congratulate you on the amazing work that's being done and the first day of school today. The past year was amazing to get to learn the amount of impact these students and young people have on their communities and their schools. So we would love to connect, and if there's any questions you may have, I will leave my information with the secretary. Thank you so much, and have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Delgado. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and move right into 5.0. New Community Facility District Business Service Division. I'd like to invite Director Chang to the podium, please.
Being Board President Ibarra, board members, Dr. Miranda, a member of the audience, I want to thank the board for allowing staff to provide informational presentation on the possible formation of 2 community facility districts within the district attendance boundaries. As the board may be aware, community facility districts is a type of special tax form or tax district form to help to fund capital improvement projects to house a new student generated from developments. So tonight we have Adam Bauer with Fieldman Rowlap and Associates, a municipal advisory firm that's been instrumental in negotiations with the developer on behalf of the district. So Adam will provide the board an overview of each development along with some of the negotiated terms and the subsequent milestones, and also answer any question the board may have. So this time I'd like to turn over the podium to Adam.
Great, thank you. Are we able to queue up the presentation? Great. So good evening. Once again, my name is Adam Bauer, and we've been working with the district staff and developers to look at a community facilities district structure that can benefit the district. There's actually 2 of them that we're working on underway. When we came to you last time was 2022, and that was when we did a city CFD, but a CFD is abbreviation for Community Facilities District. We did a city CFD, but we were the participating agency, not the lead agency. And in that one, we talked about the benefits of participating. We walked through a number of items about school fees and how this gets you more funds and that. I'll give you a high level on that today. But both of these options give us a greater amount than we achieved at that point in time. And really what's happened is the developers in the community know that now you're willing to do this type of thing, or you have been willing to do this type of thing. And so we're able to get a little bit better deal every time we've done this so far. And I'll walk through how that's changed over time. But the first one we label 2024-1. I know that means nothing to you now. I'll show you a map and some other details about the property. And the other one's 2024-2. And the reason why I'm before you this evening is should you want to continue moving forward, you'll have an item before you on August 15th for both of these 2 potentials. So when the first slide we focus on here is really Colton Joint Unified School District being the lead entity. And that means you're the party that will eventually sell bonds on this and administer the CFD. You'll engage in a consultant that does that, but you are considered a lead agency. Just like what you did in 2022, where you were the participating entity, in this case, we'd have West Valley Water District and the City of Rialto as part of the 2024-1. Now, why are we spending any time on this? It's all about this next bullet point. And this next bullet point shows you that if your level 1 fee is if they're pulling a level 1 fee right now, they'd pay $5.17 a square foot. What the developers agreed to with this CFD is to pay a 25% premium on top of that. So they get the benefit of having the community facilities district in place. You get the benefit of having that premium amount. Now, when I told you that each one of these we've got a little bit better deal than the last, that's actually the same amount we got on the city CFD in 2022. But what you get by beating lead entity is you get an additional 10% on the annual basis. So when investors purchase this bonds, they recognize there's some risk to them, and they require that the revenue be 10% more than the debt service, the principal and interest payment. What we've done with the developer is say, look, you already have to disclose that amount to homeowners.
give us that on a pay-as-you-go basis, so we have money down the road for small projects, and if we get enough of these, we can modernize some facilities with it. So you get the 25% up front, then you also get this 10% cushion for a 35-year term. 30 years of it would have bonds outstanding, and the last 5 years, you get the full amount with no bonds outstanding. And so that's the why you would consider something like this and spend time on it. Already hitting that last bullet point when I talked about pay-as-you-go facilities. So this number is a little bit different than 2024-2, but this is the first one that we're showing you. This is a process. It's pretty long. In addition to having me do an introduction, you would have on August 15th the first set of items on here. You would accept a petition from the developer. They're asking you to do this. You would have what we call the resolution of intention. You would establish the boundaries, and you'd approve a mitigation agreement. There's about a 25-page document that really solidifies those mitigation terms and outlines how you and the developer are going to interact over the life of this. Then we'll have a follow-up meeting about 30 to 60 days later, and I have a schedule that walks through that, where we actually have a public hearing, and that's your second to last step to forming the CFD. Finally, after that, we come back and do a second reading, and we'll show you the details of that as we go through. And on this slide, what we're focused on is showing you generally where it is. It's between Linden Avenue and Cedar Avenue. I have a map in a moment that I'll show you. It has 181 units. 173 of these units are traditional residential type units. 8 of them are affordable units. I want to make something very clear. On these affordable units, the developer is still paying a mitigation amount for them, but those homeowners are not going to have a special tax. We didn't want to defeat kind of the whole purpose of having affordable units by then adding to the tax burden. So the developer has to pay for those units, but the special tax will not be on those units. The developer is All Arrow Properties. Their representative is the Zimmerman Group. And then below that are your representatives. We have Ack & Andelson serving as bond counsel, our firm serving as municipal advisor, and then SDFA serving as CFD administrator. Now, to the far right there, we're showing you the general facilities that we're financing. You can see there, yours is the highest, and that has to be the case. And then from there, we have City of Rialto facilities and then also water agency facilities. This number will change. So this treated it as if we were pulling all building permits now, but obviously that's not going to happen. So as you change your level 1 fee, so in 2 years from now, when you're likely to increase it, if they haven't pulled building permits by that point in time, you'd get that greater amount plus the 25%. So it really is meant to track level 1 or level 2 if you qualify, so that you can always get a 25% premium over whatever's being charged at that point in time. Now here's a map. Hopefully you can decipher that. Santa Ana on the south, Cedar on what looks like the east, and you can see in the green there we've highlighted the CFD boundaries. It's kind of right in the middle of a lot of development. I expect this one will move pretty quickly given the amount of development around it. And then we've also listed the schools there to the far right that are part of the current attendance boundaries. I've already hit on this to some degree, so I'll move through this pretty quickly. This evening I'm here for a presentation. August 15th, we had that first set of actions, the resolution of intention. We follow that no less than 30, but no more than 60 days after that with resolution of formation on that September 19th. And then you have your second reading, which is a pretty simple task on October 3rd. After that, the CFD is formed. The attorneys work to get the documents recorded of property, and you have the CFD in place. So before I move on to the second CFD, and I'll move quicker through that one because there's just a few things that are different about it. Any questions on what I've gone through there with the first one?
Any questions of Mr. Bauer? Go ahead, Dan.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Just a couple of quick questions. With respect to just looking at the other facilities or the agencies that are serving this, City of Rialto facilities, I'm assuming that's with respect to the sewer service that's going to be provided through the City of Rialto?
That's correct.
Okay. And then the water facilities would be West Valley Water, I think, in that area? Yeah. So they'll be the participating agency in that area? Okay.
One thing really clear. We're only funding for those agencies what we have capacity to. We've set this up, there's a waterfall agreement. The first thing that happens is the developer, let me take a step back. When a developer pulls a building permit, we require that they post what we call a COC deposit, a certificate of compliance deposit. That's that mitigation amount. If we never sell bonds, you have that and the special taxes down the road. But when we sell bonds, we reimburse that to them, and then you get your bond proceeds. But the way it's set up is that no other facilities are financed until the district gets its full amount of facilities. Now, if for some reason we are in just a horrible interest rate environment and you say, I still want to sell bonds, even though I say don't, then we would then hold on to the developer's COC deposits if we have a shortfall in the school fees. So you either, one, get 100% of your funds from the bond proceeds, and if that ever does not generate 100%, we hold on to those COC deposits to make sure you're 100% made whole on your mitigation. So after that, if there's anything left over, and we've set it up so there should be, you can fund the water agency and the city facilities.
And then just to clarify, you said the affordable units that are included, they will not be included in this then?
That's correct.
Developer.
The developers agreed to pay that premium mitigation, but we're not putting a special tax on those units.
Lots of questions around the covenants around the affordable, but I did want to just, I don't think Mr. Delgado is still here. I do want to give a shout out to Supervisor Baca. It's my understanding that he's the one that really pushed to ensure that because this is a private, not designed originally as an affordable development, market rate housing, but he pushed as county supervisor, being obviously in the unincorporated area, to include some affordable units. So that's fantastic because that's 8 families that'll have access to affordable housing. Presumably there's a covenant where they won't pay more than, typically it's 30% of your gross income. But any unit that we can add to Bloomington, our community, where there's affordability, I think is a great thing. So I just wanted to thank Supervisor Baca for that and his effort to provide more affordable housing in our district. So that's pretty cool. Other than that, I think that answers my questions. Do we have a timeline on when they anticipate going through? And with respect to entitlements, where are we in that county entitlement process?
So we do it. They expect to build within about 2 years.
Okay.
But just it's all about what market we're in. If things slow down, they slow down. And developers I have found are either all in or not in at all. I've never heard a developer say it's lukewarm and I might do it on this pace. He just said we're going to build it all tomorrow, or we're not ever going to build it again. So I want to caution you on that. This may sit there for a while, or it may develop very quickly. We don't know that. But what we've done is set up that mitigation so that if it does lag, you can still be indexed up to make sure you capture that.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Mr. Bauer. You could continue, please.
And these developers, when we met in 2022, I described that deal as we got what we could. That developer had a lot of constraints on that property and has been trying to build for a long time. And we knew that if we had more opportunities, we wanted to continue to try to increase the amount that we get. And that's exactly what we did with this. We got, now as lead entity, we get that 10%. But when the developer for the next CFD came around, same thought, was 25% is great, but let's see if we can get a little bit more. And so if you jump down there, you can see there, this one we got a 30% premium on it. And so by you putting us in a position to continue to talk with these developers and successfully move forward on these things, they see you as an entity that they continually want to do CFDs with. And that was why we're able to get a little bit more on this one. And so this one, you get your 10%, and you also 10% annual amount, and you also get your 30% up front there. So now I'll move through pretty quickly because I want to show you the details of the property. You've already hit on this. We're only doing one JCFA here with the city of Colton. You might notice that the city of Colton has a higher amount of bond proceeds than the school district. And I've already told you the school district has to get the most. You get the most when you add in your additional 10%. And that's what this developer asked for. It's like, look, I know I'm paying more than the CFD that just got formed, but let me get a little bit more upfront on this for my other facilities, and then I will give you the higher premium amount, and you can have your 10%. And so that's why this one looks a little bit different than those other ones. This one has a higher special tax. These are larger units. You can see here between 2,100 and 2,500. It's much smaller. It's 86 units. And you can see the special tax range is about twice as much. Modern Pacific is a developer, and we have a different developer consultant on this one. And then your finance team remains the same. And then here's a map of the property, Lytton on the north, and hopefully that gives you some perspective of where the property is. And we've also listed the schools on the far right of where these students would attend, absent any changes in the boundaries. Schedule, the exact same schedule. We really tried to do that. We had 2 of these rolling, and we know it takes a lot of time on you to listen to all this and then process this. So we really did put these 2 on the same schedule to try to simplify things for you, even though it will make a little bit longer for those evenings. So those are all the slides we prepared. I'm available for any questions.
Okay,
Thank you.
yes. Go ahead, Dan.
Thank you, and you've identified the school boundaries which are directly tied to these developments, Dr. Miranda, but presumably, and these dollars aren't necessarily tied to those facilities, right? We have the discretion to be able to use them. Obviously, we typically do target those schools because they're directly impacted, but they're not necessarily any covenant or anything that directly ties us to just utilize them on, say, the elementary school in that boundary.
I believe
The boundaries
that's-
also change.
That's right, and I believe that's correct. They're not just tied to those specific schools, but like you said, our goal would to look at them first and then go out. But absolutely. So, and I'm seeing Adam say yes, and if you want to add anything else to that?
Policies certainly give you some discretion on how to use the funds. But as a general rule of thumb, you want those homeowners to be able to see where their dollars are going. And so we've seen districts run into trouble if, the school that gets built is 7 miles away. That's probably a bad thing. But if you can show a primary benefit, that'd be great. If you can show a secondary benefit, that would be another thing that's acceptable oftentimes.
Makes sense. And I would think the only example where we may shift is if we do a boundary change. We have, for example, the Colton area at one point in time, I believe, a lot of that area was actually, those students went to Wilson. I think now we've switched and they go across. And again, it depends on sort of what side of the street you land, but boundaries do change at times. So we may just need to shift funding to the schools that may be impacted if we do have a boundary shift.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Yep, so we're always looking at our boundaries to ensure that we are equitable, for sure.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Mr. Bauer. Okay. Let's move right into our action session, action items. Items 6.1 through 6.29, we will be pulling 6.2 and 6.20 for separate consideration. So at this time, is there any others that you would like to pull for separate consideration? If not, we'll go ahead and take them all. So we're looking at 6.1 through 6.29 with the exception of 6.2 and 6.20. I will go ahead and entertain a motion for approval, please.
I'll move it.
Okay, thank you, Israel.
I'll second.
Okay, and that was, okay, Bernice, okay. All right. So on a motion by Board Member Israel Fuentes and second by Board Member Bernice Sandoval to approve action items 6.1 through 6.29 with the exception of 6.20 and 6.2. If there's no other questions, comments, all those in favor indicate by stating aye. Aye. Anyone oppose? Anyone abstain? Okay, 7-0. So on a motion by Board Member Israel Fuentes, second by Board Member Bernice Sandoval, and carried on a 7-0 vote, the board approved action items 6.1 through 6.29 with the exception of 6.2 and 6.20. Thank you. So let's go ahead and take a look at 6.2, the adoption of resolution number 2511 on board compensation for missed meetings. And this is for Sandoval.
I'll move the item.
I'll second.
Okay, so I have a motion for approval by Dan Flores and second by Israel Fuentes to approve action item 6.2. All those in favor indicate by stating aye. Aye. Anyone oppose, abstain? Okay. So on a motion by Board Member Dan Flores, and Board Member Israel Fuentes, sorry guys, and carried on a 6-0-1, abstention Ms. Sandoval. The board approved 6.2 with Board Member Sandoval abstaining. Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at action item 6.20, which is the adoption of Resolution 2471, resolution of the Board of Education of Cone Joint Unified School District ordering an election and establishing specifications of the election order. At this time, I'd like to invite Dr. Miranda to speak.
Yes, thank you, Board President. Before I get started with some remarks, I'd like to invite Nick Orr, he's our bond counsel, Joy Kumer, who's done a lot of the research, our FA financial advisor, Mike Williams, or Owen Chang, our director of facilities. And then Mike, if you want to just stand on hold there, if we have any questions. Yeah, and you guys can move up. And I appreciate them because there's going to be some questions about the resolution. I wanted to be prepared. And so as the board is aware, Resolution 24-7 provides 2 tax levy options for the board to consider tonight. So the first one is 4-cent tax per 100 assessed valuation, and then the other one is 5-cent tax per 100 of assessed valuation. So based on the 4-cent annual tax levy, the maximum par amount of the bond we're able to raise is approximately $225 million. It's according to Mike Williams, our financial advisor. The 5-cent annual tax levy would have a maximum par amount of about $246 million. So while the 5 cents annual tax levy provides more funds, more resources to invest in improving our facilities for our students, just considering the community's feedback on the various tax rates, staff and myself, as your superintendent, recommends tonight the board consider the 4-cent annual tax levy. And let me add a little bit more to that, if I may, just a little bit of the background rationale. You know, the district, and thanks to Joy and her team and civics, did an outstanding job of conducting outreach to the community to gauge the support of the potential bond measure. The overall feedback as the last board presentation on this was pretty positive, without a doubt, with the community members just expressing they understand that there is a high need, a need for improvement in our facilities and keeping our schools safe and updated. So that definitely very positive about that, the support. However, there were some concerns in regards to the cost of the bond measure to local property owners. While the need, again, as I stated, is great for our local schools, we also have to keep in mind what is comfortable for our community and consider what their thoughts are. So with all this in mind, the staff, again, and myself recommends we move forward with the 4 cent per 100 of assessed valuation GeoBond, again, which in summary will generate the $225 million in funds and much needed funds for our school district. Also, let me add this, the funding is also going to help us to be eligible for state matching funds should the state pass the bond that's on the ballot this November. And as all of you know, Owen has done an incredible job of getting state matching in hundreds of millions of dollars. So with that, I wanted to do a quick report for the board, and we'd be happy at this time to take questions and answer questions from the board.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Miranda. Is there any questions at this time from any members of the board? The recommendation at this time is the 4-cent tax per 100K assessed value. No? Okay, Dan, please.
Do we know, I think this might have been included in the last presentation, sort of what the average assessed value of a home or property in the district is? I thought we had an average, which allowed us to kind of calculate what we think this would equate to, right? Because, and again, thank you. First of all, the presentation last meeting was great, went in great depth. It was really great to get the survey feedback from folks. But for a lot of people, at the end of the day, they're like, hey, what's this going to cost me? What's it going to look like, at the end of the year or the end of the month? So.
Closer. There we go. Okay. Good evening, Board. Mike Williams, Financial Advisor with Columbia Capital. The average assessed valuation in the district is $248,000, and at the 4 cents, that works out to be about $99 a year.
To be honest with you, I would have guessed somewhere around 300. We're well below that, which is an indication that particularly communities like Colton tend not to, the homes don't transition as often, which there's benefits to that and some disadvantages as the guy who probably likes to see higher assessed valuations. But I think the upside of that is what we're talking about at the end of the day is $100 for the year, essentially. And that feels like a pretty reasonable ask of the homeowners, the taxpayers, the parents, the folks in the community. So I know that when we looked at the survey results, the 40%, the confidence level, if you will, was pretty strong. And then as we went to 50 and then obviously 6, it really kind of dropped off. And in this environment, knowing how difficult it is for folks, the housing market, it feels like that 4 cents per 100 or 40 for 100,000 is probably the sweet spot. But $100 per assessed value per property essentially is pretty reasonable. So, okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Dan. And, and I think as a board and a district, we really need to take a look at making sure that all our community, all our families are comfortable, and not only comfortable with us being able to do the bond and then with the price, but also make sure that they're able to see and reap the benefits of what we're going to be able to do for their students, for their children, for the community. I know that I get a lot of people who live around me who all their children are grown up and gone, and so, the next thing I need to just let them know it's for the future, it's for our community, and to help us upgrade our schools, because when we think about our district and our schools, they encompass Colton, Bloomington, and Grand Terrace. Those are key areas. When you think about all our schools are in communities, there's homes around our schools, there's families around our schools, and one of the things that I've always heard from many people is that there's pride in going to Colton, any of the Colton schools, but also being able to bring back to the Colton community. And that's what we're actually trying to do. Bring back to our Colton community so that we can make sure that they're proud of our educational system, our facilities, and that our students, because I'm an educator of many years, as many of you are. And, we've always heard the term, educational environment for students. If they love their school, they love how it looks, they're going to be happy to go. And this is what we're trying to achieve here, something that will allow our children, our students, our families, to say, hey, you know what? Who went to that school 20 years ago? Oh, I did. That type of thing. So, I think that this is a great opportunity. I think 4 cents per is reasonable for our communities and for the people around. And, you know, I thank each and every one of you for all the information and the last report, and I'm glad to see you're feeling a lot better, Ms. Coomer. Yeah, and you're able to join us. But, you know, I think that as a board, you know, we see the upside of what this can develop into in the future. Yes, so with that being said, any other questions? Yes, Bertha.
Yes, I just had a question or a comment. After tonight, if, you know, if this is approved, the next steps would be, of course, to, does this guarantee putting it on the ballot for November 5th? Or what are the next steps?
So Nick Hewer from Stradling, Yucca, Carlson and Roth, the district's bond counsel. So the election order will direct the registrar of voters for both San Bernardino County and Riverside County to place the measure on the ballot. So your vote will direct those registrars to do that. The only step before the measure is placed on the ballot is for the resolution to be signed, wet copy, and delivered to each of the registrar of voters, as well as the clerk of each board of supervisors prior to August 9th. I believe the plan is to deliver it tomorrow, though.
Okay, and go ahead.
That is correct. We've checked coordinated with both San Bernardino and Riverside County and make sure their operating hours and so forth. And should the board approve the resolution, we're ready to deliver the resolution tomorrow.
Okay, thank you for that. And also on the ballot measure, I'm sure, you know, moving forward from now until November, there's going to be a lot of questions from the public as far as what is on the ballot measure and what is it exactly going to do, what is the purpose. And so, you know, for example, you know, the public needs to know that these funds will not be used for any teacher or administrator salaries. And that's just one that I can think of, but I know people have questions.
Hello? There we go. Good evening, Board President, members of the board, Joy Coomer with Team Civics. We worked on communications with the district over the past several months, just helping people understand. And you'll remember the presentation we did last week talking about some of those communications. Bond Counsel can also speak to this, but as a district, you can always provide the facts. You can always provide information about the board vote, about the bond measure being on the ballot, what types of projects it would fund, so those items that are in the project list of your resolution tonight. You can include information about the fiscal accountability provisions. In fact, we would recommend that you have the resolution and text up on the board web or the district's website till the election day so that people can get information. And then when board members or the superintendent or staff are speaking in the community, they can always provide those facts. What the district cannot do is advocate for the bond measure, asking people to take a position while you are participating as members of a district, right? It doesn't restrict your volunteer time, but as a district, during district hours, using district resources, you can only provide information. You cannot advocate for the bond measure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bertha. A QR code, would that be something that we can also do, provide a QR code on our phones, or so that we could, you know, send out to interested public?
Yes, so the fact sheets that we've created for the district, once the district is assigned a ballot letter from the lead county, we'll be able to update those communication materials so that they can be titled information about measure, whatever the ballot letter is. And in fact, you could put QR codes up in the schools or have them available as handouts when you're out speaking. And it would just go to the district website, right? That would
Yes. Yes, thank you. Okay, any other comments from any board members?
I have a question. Okay.
Yes, well, let's go with Pat first.
Dan, you brought up the values in Colton, which are pretty steady because people don't move and whatnot. What about our other communities? And I'm bringing up Fontana because I know where I am, you know, a house three houses down from me just sold for almost $700,000, okay? And this is in Southridge, okay? And that community down there, you know, not only their taxes are gonna go up, but they also, our Mello-Roos just went up. And then we have the CFD there. So I think we have to kind of look at how this affects all of our communities, because Colton is the exception to our communities where, you know, the homes, they get handed down to families and that things don't change. So I just think that's something that we have to be cognizant of.
No, I think that's a great point, and that's where the public information really needs to be clear so folks understand how it may impact. And at the end of the day, it's tied to the property, the assessed valuation. So a lot of it will be homeowners. Interestingly enough, we do have a number of renters, I think, throughout our community. So even they need to be aware because they're impacted insofar as many of their kids go to our schools. So, but I wanted to ask another question with respect to obviously the role that the district plays in that through information. There can be outside advocacy, but as part of this going to the Register of Voters, is there an opportunity, I believe there's an opportunity that there need be some kind of ballot argument or something included at some point, or there's an opportunity to include a ballot argument along with that measure once it's sort of issued by the registrar?
Yes, so any ballot measure that is on the ballot, and I'm sure it's part of your resolution, it provides authority for the board to take action to write a argument in favor, so that would be advocacy in that instance, and sign on as individual board members. I do understand that there is a process already underway working on the ballot argument. It does not have to be board members that sign. It can be community members, but that deadline is mid-August. And so, again, I believe San Bernardino County is the lead county? It would be. Yeah, so that would be August 19th is that deadline.
And in my experience, I've seen oftentimes it's not necessarily the Board of Education, but their community members, leaders that will take the lead on that. And I think it also obviously gives that appearance that we're not necessarily stepping out of that line of information and going into the advocacy realm, at least not officially in our duties. I would recommend maybe as part of this, if we could, and Dr. Miranda, there is a group of volunteers, I've spoken to folks who hear about this, are excited about it, that want to support it, they're community members. And I think we should let them take the lead on that ballot argument. I think it sends a much stronger message when it's leaders in the community, business leaders in the community, parents, could be potentially teachers and folks that are in the district or former retired teachers. If they could take the lead as the ballot argument sort of committee and signatory, I just think it carries more weight. But it also sort of keeps us, like I said, on that side of the informational side. So I'd be happy to coordinate that, Dr. Miranda, make sure that those folks are put in touch with the proper staff so that that can be done within the timeline. But that would be my suggestion, is that we let them take the lead on the ballot argument as opposed to it coming directly from the board where it's our names that are going to be on the argument, so to speak.
Absolutely. If the board directs, then we'd be happy to take that on.
Yeah, that's exactly how we did the last.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? If not, we'll go ahead and go for the vote. All right. The recommendation is the 4-cent tax per 1,000 K assessment value. At this time, if there's no other questions, comments, or concerns, I'm looking for a motion to approve action item 6.20.
I'll move that.
And with the 4-cent tax per 100K assessed value. So I do have a motion by Mr. Fuentes. And now I'm looking for a second, please. and that's Joanne Thorin Ojeda. Okay, thank you. So, let's go for the vote. Yes, sir.
One more thing, it has to be a roll call vote.
Yes, I'm familiar. Okay, thank you, though. Yes. Yes, Mike.
One correction, Frank, it's 4 cents per $100.
Oh, okay, so it's,
A little confusing. It's $40.
oh, you're right. Yeah, okay. I'm just reading with the script. Thank you, though. So let me just rephrase that. Let me make the adjustment here. 4 cents tax per $100 assessed value. Okay, so we're there. Thank you, Mike. So we do have a motion, Israel Fuentes, second by Joanne Thorin Ojeda, to approve action item 6.20 with the 4 cent tax per $100 assessed value. Joanne.
Ms. Doreen Ojeda?
Yes.
Mrs. Sandoval?
Yes.
Mrs. Haro? Mrs. Flores?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Mr. Flores? Mr. Ibarra?
Yes. Okay, thank you, Joanne. On a motion by Board Member Israel Fuentes and second by Board Member Joanne Thorin Ojeda, and carried on a 7-0 vote, the board approved action item 6.20 with the 4 cent tax per $100 assessed value. Thank you. Okay. Okay, no problem, no problem. I always say that when there's a little misgiving with the script, that's why we're all here. Because I remember a long time ago, I had a board member who actually said, because I made a correction, and he goes, how come I didn't think of it? I go, well, that's why there's 7 of us. So, but thank you, Mike.
That's not the first time Mike saves us, so thank you, Mike.
Okay, let's go ahead and move right into, and thank you. Thank you all. Yes, yes, thank you, Mr. Bauer, Ms. Coomer, and Mike. Thank you very, very much. And, yeah. Okay. So let's move into our administrative reports. Action item 7.1. If there's any that anybody'd like to question, just let me know. 7.1, approved disbursements. 7.2, approved change orders for the Cone High School CTE Culinary Arts Project per Board Resolution 24-69. And I'm getting a lot of excited community people who are coming up as far as the culinary arts. And I mean, you know, everywhere I go, when is it going to be ready? Is it going to, you know? And I actually have a goddaughter who wants to take a class there. So I say, good, great. All right. And 7.3, approved change order for the Grand Terrace Elementary School portable classroom and toilet project per Board Resolution 2469. I understand that there's no updates on facilities. And so we'll move to 7.5, ACE update. I believe we do have our president here.
Good evening, Board President, Board Member, Superintendent Dr. Miranda, and member of the audience. I just got my voice back, so it keeps on going out. And good evening, everyone in the room and everybody joining us online. First and foremost, I want to extend a warm welcome and heartfelt thank you to our dedicated school board members for their unwavering support and guidance. I am happy to see that the bond proposal was approved and is going on the ballot. Welcome to all our certificated, classified, and management staff. I am thrilled to be part of CJUSD, and by the way, I'm Christina Paracci, Association of Colton Educated President. You have me for 2 more years. As we embark on the 2024-2025 school year. I didn't think I was going to be here for 6 years. I hope you all had a restful and rejuvenated summer vacation. So let's take a moment to reflect on the incredible work we did last year. Our team's dedication, creativity, and resilience has significantly impacted our students, families, and communities. I know the scores have not come out officially, but a lot of the parents received the results from their students, and some of them are already bragging about how much it costed them because they got good scores. The kids got good scores, so the parents have to pay.
Before you move on, Christine, I want to give you a round of applause because all these parents getting these good scores is definitely an indication of what you're talking about, the wonderful things that are happening here.
Thank you. Yes, we, as a team, I think we did an awesome job, even though the bad word that I don't want to say it, DOJ, was here with us, and it's here to stay for 2 more years. We have much to celebrate as we begin this school year. Over the summer, many of our certificated staff willingly gave up a day of their vacation to participate in the training for EL students. I think it's still called CABE, right? Thank you for your dedication and supporting our students' growth and ensuring a safer and more inclusive environment. Our association is committed to collaboration as the bargaining team negotiates the entire contract. As you saw, Dr. Dade decided to have a whole long page in there. And ACE has their long page. So we're going to be negotiating twice a month, Dr. Dade, for the rest of the year. The association is committed to working with the administration to support our learning specialists, which is a fairly new job across various schools. And I don't use this easy. I'm not the person that I use equity as a buzzword, but in the spirit of equity, we do hope that if a school needs additional support and the expertise of the assistant principal instead of a learning specialist, we hope that the district will reassess and address these needs accordingly. I'm excited to welcome 81 new certificated employees to our district. Some of them look like they are still in high school, but we are thrilled to have them on board. It is reassuring to know that most positions, so congratulations, HR department, are filled, and we are not starting with too many substitutes. We do have some substitutes that are starting, but unforeseen circumstances, or is anybody interested in going and getting a physics degree or German? This year, we embark on a new journey filled with opportunities, and our theme for this year, as you saw on the kickoff, Swing for Success, every student, every day. With the guiding principles, we are committed to create a dynamic and inclusive learning environment. With that, together, we will make this year extraordinary. Welcome back, and let's make 2024-2025 a year to remember.
Thank you. Item 7.6, CSCA. Yeah. Yes. Hi. Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you for being here. 7.7, MAC. I'd like to invite Principal Roman.
Board President Ibarra, board members, Superintendent Dr. Miranda, and members of the audience. On behalf of MAC, we'd like to welcome all of our CJUSD employees back to the first day of school. We hope you had a wonderful first day of school. We saw many images and videos on various platforms welcoming our students across the district, and all of our employees taking part on that welcome back experience for our students and making it very special. We'd like to remind everyone of our MAC board. These are all of our members of our MAC board serving for the 24 up until the 26 school year. Myself as president, VP of Equity, Adrina Frejo, VP of Legislation, John Abbott, VP of Membership, Veronica Godinez, Treasurer, Amber Duran, Secretary, Tiffany Davis. We have 2 alternates this school year, Charles Neighbors and Sebastian Parachi. We'd like to remind everyone that today they opened up the AXA website for the 2025 Administrator of the Year Award. So we encourage everyone to take part in nominating their choice of administrator, and this is across various positions in the district. So feel free to do that. We can have multiple representatives for Colton Joint Unified School District, so we encourage you to fill out that form. We'll be sending out this presentation to all management members as well. As a reminder, AXA also offers various academies, and now is the time for you to enroll if you're interested in furthering your professional development. They have various academies for classified managers as well as certificated managers and various durations of hours for those. Some of these academies are also held virtually, so if you're unable to meet in a cohort that's nearby Colton Joint Unified School District, you can also sign up online. In addition, we also have several conferences that are going to be coming up. We have the Women in School Leadership Forum that's available in September. So if you're interested in attending those things, make sure that you fill out the appropriate documents within our school district process so that you can reserve your spot in a timely manner. We have the Personnel and Negotiation Symposium, which is perfect for our bargaining timeline here, Leadership Summit, and Every Child Counts Symposium. So we hope that our leaders take advantage of these opportunities to learn and grow and build their skill sets as managers and leaders in our district. And also the AXA 2024 Leadership Summit is coming up in November on the 14th through the 16th. Also, don't forget to join AXA. As new members, we have quite a few new management members. We want to remind them that this is a great opportunity for them to get involved, get connected, and also learn and grow with other administrators across the state of California. So please join AXA. More information on AXA.org. And then our MAC dues are now $60. We will be sending individual information out to all management members. So we look forward to an amazing school year with our CJUSD leaders leading the way, as well as our charge for our Swing for Success, which was a great kickoff yesterday. So thank you to our superintendent and every member who presented yesterday. We hope everybody has a great school year. Thank you.
Thank you very much. ROP, we're not scheduled till later on this month, unless there's something Israel or Pat like to mention. Okay, thank you. And so we'll move right into our superintendent's communique.
Thank you, Board President, board members, members of the audience, in person and online. It's an honor, again, to be here. First day of school, but I wanted to start off with our EL Summer Institute. And it was mentioned earlier by President Parachi. So last week, as folks know, the EL Summer Institute unfolded with just tremendous success at the Doubletree Hotel in Ontario. We were thrilled to see over 600 certificated staff and instructional aides gather to enhance their skills in integrated and designated English language development strategies and lesson planning. This was a vibrant event, I'll tell you, extremely honored to be there too. That was provided by our district and our Ed Services team. And so we had our core content teachers there who received, I believe, 6 hours of training. And so they were being equipped with effective strategies and, again, top-notch integrated designated ELD and English learner strategies. So our heartfelt thanks goes out to CABE for partnering with us to deliver high-quality professional development. And again, the dedication of our teachers, administrators, and instructional assistants to the betterment of our English language learners is truly inspiring. For those who could not attend, we're excited to offer additional training sessions throughout August, September, and October with a CABE-trained facilitator at the helm. We will ensure that all participants receive consistent and high-quality instruction. A special shout-out to Dr. Peterson, along with directors Dr. Moore and Language Support Services, and Joda Murphy, Director Murphy from School Improvement Accountability, and their teams. Again, your tireless efforts made these days very transformative and very powerful tone to start the school year. All right, next slide, please. Welcome back. Today was the first day of school. A lot of excitement out there. And it was just joyful and a very joyful welcome back to our students. The atmosphere was electric with excitement as staff prepared the sites, ready to embrace our students and families. It was heartwarming to see so many smiling faces to connect with during the back-to-school nights. Also, yesterday, there were several. So on behalf of the Board of Education, I extend a warm and enthusiastic welcome to all of our students and families. So this marks the beginning of an exciting journey, and we're thrilled to embark on it together as a team. So, you know, let's make this school year one filled with growth, joy, and achievement. And then the last slide, swing for success. All right, I can get used to this. Yesterday, I think marked, I'll say, historic moment for our kind of first ever district-wide kickoff. It was corrected, happened like years ago, 1990. The day honestly began with just an energizing speech from our board president, Mr. Ibarra, and we celebrated our district's achievements, discussed our design plan, and set ambitious goals for the year. It was a privilege, honestly, for me to unveil as your superintendent the theme for the 24-25 school year again, swing for success, every student, every day. So this theme perfectly, as I stated before, encapsulates the momentum and the success that we're building upon with our students. I'm immensely proud of our dedicated staff and the continued progress within the design plan that we have. We are committed to advancing our 10-10-95-95 improvement goals, ensuring that every student in our district has the opportunity to succeed. That's a must. So a huge thank you to everyone who participated at the kickoff, whether in person, virtual, here at the barbecue. Again, thank you for participating. I do want to give a special thanks to our M&O department, purchasing, warehouse, and everyone who contributed in making this event a huge success. David Bell is amazing. He's just incredible and great barbecuer too, by the way. His ribs were awesome. So amazing. So welcome back, everybody. Let's make 24-25 a year to be one of our best ever, filled with passion, dedication, and success. And together, we can achieve greatness. So let's go get it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Miranda. Okay, let's go right into board comments. I'll start off with Joanne.
Thank you, Mr. Ibarra. Welcome back, everyone. I understand today was a very positive, successful day at our sites, and that's always wonderful to hear. I hope everyone had a great break, a restful break. I know there are many happy parents out there having their children go back to school today. The kids, maybe not so much. My little great-granddaughter wanted to stay home and play with Papa and Grandpa, but I know they'll be very happy once they're at school. It just kind of, that first day of school is kind of scary. I have to say I miss being at school the very first day. And I give kudos to all those people who work in schools and district office too. I know you work hard here. For being here tonight at a meeting when you had a long day of questions, and questions. So thank you so much. I hope this is the best year that people have, that any of you have yet. I love the swing for success. My son is this avid baseball person, and so swing for success. Maybe that'll get my little Gigi wanting to read and do that instead of playing in the playground. But It's wonderful to have everyone back, and I just wish everyone a very successful school year. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanne. Yes, please.
I have one more thing. I want to thank especially Dr. Dade, because I didn't think you'd be able to hire all those people and get all those positions filled by the first day of school. And only open a few classrooms with subs because I was really scared for principals having to have opening so many classrooms without teachers. So you did a great job. You and your department, I applaud what you've done because I know how hard that is. I worked on HR once and I'm going, it was a nightmare. So you did a wonderful job. Thank you.
Just welcome back to the new school year. And yes, everything was really heartwarming. I went to the school site and I liked it. Thank you. And welcome back.
Thank you, Bernice. Bertha.
Yes, again, I want to welcome everyone back. And actually, what our superintendent shared, that is exactly what I was going to share. And I just want to say, I'm going to echo everything that he said, including our incredible M&O department, and the barbecue was going, and I had no idea we had such a talented chef, and he really took this seriously, and he was out there barbecuing, and he had the ribs, and so I am incredibly thankful for him and his department. Also, executive cabinet, they were out there with their aprons and their jerseys, and and sometimes the cars, we had a drive-through set up, and sometimes we would see on the dashboard, it would say 2 or 3, and then all of a sudden we start seeing 60. So it's like 60 lunches. Let's load them up, and I think we did a really good job. So I was just very, very pleased and proud of seeing what I saw yesterday at the kickoff. It's very heartwarming to see the dedication of all our employees and our leaders. So that's what I wanted to just share, and I just want to welcome everyone back. It's going to be a great year. Thank you.
Thank you, Bertha. Pat?
I want to welcome everyone back to school. And I was unable to make it to any schools this morning. I apologize, but we are down 1 car at home. Thankful I'm here. Thanks to my fellow board member, Mr. Fuentes, for the ride. But I did make it last night to DRC Elementary and to Harupa Vista, their back-to-school night, because they're walking distance from my home. So I walked over to both schools to celebrate with them. Both schools had tremendous, especially Harupa Vista, tremendous parent involvement. It was packed in there. And DRC had a great turnout, and it was really good to see everyone back. Everybody was excited, and so I just wanted to wish everyone a great school year. I just something I want to bring up real quick, because I'm honored and I'm kind of excited as well. I recently got a phone call from Chris Alexander, who is the Executive Director of TCAP, which is the California Arts Project. And she called me along with Gary Waddell, who is the superintendent I talked about at the last board meeting from Santa Clara Unified School District. And Mr. Waddell is putting together another breakout for the TCAP conference next year. And I was asked to be the board member representative. Our strand is going to be called Student and Community Engagement, and it's all in regards to our Prop 28 funding and how we spent it in the district. So I'm really very honored that they contacted me, and when Chris called, they wanted somebody who was passionate about the arts, and she said, I know who to call, and she called. And so I'm really excited. Mr. Waddell, his school district has 14,000 students and 31 schools. They have 18 elementary, 1 K through 8, 4 middle schools, 3 comprehensive high schools, 1 alternative high school, 1 community day school, 1 adult school, and 1 dual enrollment high school. And so it's going to be really great to be able to work together with him and the other experts on the panel, and I'm really excited to represent Colton. My quote this evening, since I'm talking about the arts like I usually am, is from former Secretary of Education, Arnie Duncan, and it says, "The arts can help students become tenacious, team-oriented problem solvers who are confident and able to think creatively." And that's what we want for all of our kids. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Israel.
Thank you, Board President. Just a couple things. Welcome back, everyone. Bienvenidos de nuevo a clases. Primer día, first day of school today. And I heard a lot of great things were happening today. So I didn't get a chance to get out there. Went on a little mini vacation for this weekend. It took me 12 hours to get to Vegas. If you guys knew about the little incident that happened, it took me 12 hours. So we were lucky enough. We finally made it. We were supposed to go to this UB40 concert. We never made it to the concert. But we just thank God that we were able to spend a little time out there with the familia and hang out. And it's all about the families. And so just wanted to share a couple things. I was at the multilingual event at the DoubleTree, and what a phenomenal event. I got an opportunity to kind of visit every session that was going on. And the engagement of our teachers, it was the second day. Our K through 6th grade teachers were there. And just to hear the questions that we're asking, the engagement that they had, they wanted to know what to do better, how they can communicate with our EL students, and it was phenomenal to see. And the young lady that was there too from Grimes, I forgot her name, Jeanette, now I know. What an amazing young lady. She's a student at Grimes Elementary. She's in the dual immersion program. And man, she has some spunk out there, and it was great to see that. She working together with Dr. Moore on the stage and getting everybody hyped up for the session. So that was great to do that. Also headed out to the nutrition event at Eisenhower High School out at the Rialto area. Rialto Unified was the host for that event, and I'm just trying to find my notes here. It was the, I guess, SNP training camp, fueling potential, and I can't read my notes here. Well, you know, it was an event out there. I know Casey and her team were out there, and they were working hard in the morning, getting breakfast ready for our nutrition staff from, I think, 8 different districts that were there. It was, I think, over 300 or 400 people that were there at these event. And our speaker that we had was the loss prevention person, I think, from Rialto Unified. Great testimony. And some of you were at the wellness conference and remember Dr. Manuel Scott, I think it was, Emmanuel Scott. He shared that phenomenal session with us. He did close with that little spiel that on screen, and that was great to be there. It was great to see our staff involved, participating, and trying to learn more on how to be able to meet the needs of our students in our lunch programs. And it's just great to see that. So I had the opportunity there. From there, I had the opportunity to head out to the adult school, to their career fair, and that was amazing too, man. Kiddos to them because, man, it was hot, and they were out there in the hot weather. Our vendors are out there in the hot weather, but they were out there and making sure that everybody was getting the information they needed from the event. And then from there, I had the opportunity to DJ the orientation for freshmen at Bloomington High School, and I got to meet the class of 2028. What a phenomenal group of kids. Got to do some trivia with them, got to do some dancing with them, do some singing with them. And, of course, Mr. Sutherland always gives me a box of about 30 candy bars so I can pass out for trivia. That was phenomenal to do. So it was an amazing time. for me, and I wish I was here for the events, but because of, getting some family time, even though I wish I was here because of the 12 hours I was stuck on the freeway, but that's a whole different story. So wanted to say welcome, everyone. Have fun this year. Enjoy. Welcome to our new teachers. Welcome to our new staff. And to everybody, thank you, thank you, thank you. And remember, swing for success, every student, every day, because here at Colton Joint Unified School District, we put our students first. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Israel. Dan.
Just a couple of quick items, of course. Again, welcome everyone back to school. Yes, us parents are excited. Our kids are back in school. My two little ones were dressed and ready to leave the house at 6:30. 6:30. I was like, guys, relax. We want to be there. We were excited. So that's great. My 13-year-old was very much a 13-year-old, so we still had to drag him out of bed and get him going. But he was able to get ready, get going, and he's no longer permanently attached to my couch, which is good to see. But to be honest, the fun part this morning was just kind of the energy. At drop-off, a lot of parents were walking their kids to campus and getting to meet teachers, and you just felt the energy, which was really cool to see. The kids were really excited. So it's wonderful to see that kind of energy and that the kids are excited, and ours certainly were. One thing I wanted to make a note of, and I'm really excited to be a part of, and we're all supporting, which is our Tomorrow's Leaders Foundation, is off and running. We obviously had a great event last school year. Something that is now new and available to all district employees is the ability to contribute an automatic payroll deduction. It's a process where you can fill out a form, submit it to HR, payroll, and they will go ahead and do an automatic deduction. It could be of any amount that you would like, and it'll go directly to the Tomorrow's Leaders Foundation. It is, of course, tax deductible. It's a 501c3, and I would encourage everybody to look into that, and I've asked if Joanne could share that form with the board. We are eligible, since we do receive a stipend, to use a portion of that to go directly to the foundation. So look forward to seeing that grow, and I think that's a really important part of the success. Is every contribution, no matter how large or small, will make a difference in a student's life as we grow that foundation. So I look forward to that opportunity. And the last thing that I'll share, and I'll be very brief because I could go on and on about this, is I did over the summer have the opportunity to participate in the Footsteps to Freedom tour. I'll simply say at this point it was life-changing, and I don't mean that, I don't use that term lightly. I was not expecting how emotionally impactful that experience would be. It was challenging physically in terms of just the schedule that we had, and literally from 8 in the morning to 8 at night, we were busy. We were go, go, go. Certainly challenging intellectually and understanding a great deal about the history of our incredible country, but not only that, the history of slavery throughout the world, not just the United States, and the impact that that has even in today's world. But personally, being challenged to look at myself, the role that I play as a board member, as a professional, as a parent. Again, I could go on and on, but I want to thank the board for allowing us to bring this to the district. I hope that everybody gets an opportunity to experience it. It's something that is a long-term commitment in the sense that districts have been doing this for years, and I don't think there is a person that would not benefit from participating in this. And I give a tremendous amount of credit to Paulette Hines Brown, Hardy Brown, and the Brown family who created this, going back with Hardy Sr. and Cheryl. And it has only grown. And I can tell you, it was incredible. It simply was incredible. That's all I'll say. So hopefully, I think at a future date, there's some conversations about bringing back a presentation. The cohort that we had that participated, there was lots of great photos, lots of great information, and sort of personal testimony. But again, I want to thank the board. Thank you for this really life-changing opportunity, and I hope that more folks in our district get the opportunity to participate in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Definitely sounds exciting and really educational. Okay, I also like to just take this opportunity to welcome everybody back to work and back to school. And here we go, 2024-25 school year. And the years just keep on rolling, I'll tell you. This week, had opportunity to do a few things as well. I did come here on Monday, and I had opportunity to greet and welcome our psychologists and clinicians here, and just pop in and say hello and hi to them as they were getting some training, and I was glad I had that opportunity. Also, on the same day, went to the new employee orientation. Mr. Enciso and Dr. Cervantes were doing a wonderful job there, and it's great to have an opportunity to speak to all these new employees. I get to see all these young faces, and some were not too young too. Some were a little bit older and seasoned. I'll say that, but all our new employees that are going to help make our Swing for Success successful. And once again, just like Joanne did, I'd like to thank Dr. Dede and his staff for doing a tremendous task. Because I remember back a few months ago, that was the question: are we going to be able to fill those positions? And I remember what he said. He said yes. I mean, positively, he was sure we're going to do it, and he did. So, so wonderful, wonderful. I did get an opportunity to come to the Swing for Success on Wednesday, and thanks to Dr. Miranda, had an opportunity to speak to the staff that was here and those that were at their sites. And every time that I get those opportunities, I'm humbled by it. I'm thankful for it. I'd like to always try to give a heartfelt message to each and everybody that comes and that's out there listening. A message of encouragement, motivation, an encouragement that you made the right choice to work here at Cone Joint Unified School District. And I'm hoping that the words that I'm able to share with all those individuals that were out there that day, it reached them and helped motivate them for this school year, because that's what it's all about, making sure that every one of our students does well. And, it's interesting, though. When I first ran for the Board of Education, I got asked to go and interview for an endorsement. I won't say who the individual group was, but that particular endorsement group was only interested in me saying in words that I would only support the Hispanics in Colton, nobody else. And right away, I said no. I said, I'm here to support all students throughout the whole district, Grand Terrace, Colton, and Bloomington, throughout the whole district. And I quickly dismissed myself. Obviously, I didn't get the endorsement, but I'm glad that I did that, because, there was no other answer for me. I'm here to support all students, as we all are. And the strength of what Dr. Miranda is trying to achieve here with the Swing for Success, and trying to make sure that we are headed in the right direction for all students, is important. It's imperative that we work together as a team. It could be any team you want. It could be the Dodgers. It could be the Celtics. And look at Tina. It could be the Lakers. It could be whoever you want. But we work together as a team. And always with communication, because a good team communicates, that we're able to go out there and provide all our students with the needed skills and abilities and opportunities and experiences so that they could become better persons as they grow in the 13 years actually that they're here with us. And I'm pretty pleased to say that over the years, I've seen what Cone Joint Unified School District has accomplished. I've seen a lot of the additional programs that have come in. I've been fortunate to be part of the Board of Education representative for CRIROP, Cone Redlands Yucaipa ROP, and see many of the students who have become professionals in a variety of different occupations through that program. I was really proud to be part of me and another board member who brought ROTC to Cone Joint Unified School District many years ago. And to see how many of our students have done really well being part of that program, the discipline that is required for them to do well in this program. And a lot of it is under our supervision, each and every one of you. Our teachers, those who are not here, and all our employees. Just like I said the other day, as we take a look at our students look at us. We're the role models, and they learn from us, just as we oftentimes learn from them. I don't think there's one educator who can't say that they haven't learned from a student, a class, ever. So when Dr. Miranda is bringing forth and working together with all of us this swing for success, I mean, you know what? We want to hit a home run. And that's what we're striving for, to hit a home run. You know, it's ironic that we use a sports analogy, swing for success, here in this district. Because for many of us who've been around, sports has been a key indicator here at our district. We love the sports. You know, I contribute sports to be a big factor for me learning to read. Because as a little child, when I was 3, I loved sports. 4, I loved sports. So I started reading sport books. I mean, I read every sport book I could get my hands on. My dad started buying Sports Illustrated books. I started reading those. And I remember my teachers used to say, "Frank, how come you read so well?" Because I love my sports. So, you know, there's a big thing to swing for success. And I think that as we move that through the school year, you know, I think that as a district, we need to kind of share that with our students. Let's swing for success. Let's do something sports oriented. Let's get them to read sport books. Let's get them to read things that can improve and excite them about the stories that they could read. And we could tie this in with what we're trying to achieve here. So I just wanted to share that with each and every one of you that are here and maybe virtually that are out there listening. Other thing, I just want to take an opportunity, and then I'll let you guys go home before 7:30. I'd just like to take an opportunity to thank the IT department for the hat that they gave me. On Wednesday, I was mentioning a lot of different occupations here in our district. I mentioned IT, and what I heard was that everybody started to cheer, all the IT people, which I'm glad, because those are viable careers. Those are great opportunities. I mean, with AI coming down the road, you know, I just heard earlier that Del Taco is going to start using AI to take your orders. And so that's going to be interesting. I'll see how that works. But I just want to say thank you to IT. If you could spread the word, tell them thank you. I truly, truly appreciate that. So with that, once again, welcome back to everybody. I plan on trying to go to as many as open houses that start coming up pretty soon. And so everybody has hopefully have a good evening. So with that, the board will now adjourn into closed session to discuss items listed on the closed session's agenda. Okay. All right. Okay, the Board of Education is back in session. We do have one reportable action. On a motion by Board Member Israel Fuentes and second by Board Member Joanne Thorin Ojeda, and carried on a 7-0 vote. The board approves the following. Certificate Coaching 3, Baseball Assistant Boys, Head Varsity Baseball Boys, Prep Squad Director, Co-Ed. Certificate Regular Staff 7, Teachers 7. Classified Management 1, Administrative Assistant, Confidential. Classified Coaching 9, Head Junior Varsity Soccer Boys, Head Varsity Cheer Co-Ed, Head Varsity Soccer Boys 2, Head Varsity Tennis Girls, Head Varsity Track Co-Ed, Head Varsity Wrestling Co-Ed, Varsity Basketball Assistant Boys, Varsity Football Assistant Boys, and Volunteer General 35. If there's no other questions or comments, it's 8:35. We are hereby adjourned.